Hi everyone! My name is Jane and I make art videos. If you want to learn more about watercolor technique, you should stay with me. Today I will be painting a portrait. If you want to paint a portrait, you don't really need that many colors. And all the materials that I used, you will find them in the description down below. First layers of any portrait that I do, I usually just use a simple wet on wet technique. I pre-wet the surface of the paper with clean water and then just slowly and thoroughly add a bit of pigment to a couple of places on the face where I see shadows. This is not perfect yet. I will make so many corrections, but it establishes the basic skin tone that I can work with. You can repeat this process several times to achieve a deeper looking result. Next, I will try to shade the area around the eyes, the nose and the lips a bit further. For this, I need to add more deeper colors and darker colors to the basic mix. Every time I need to define certain areas more specifically and precisely, I use a stiffer brush, so a cheaper synthetic brush will do for these parts. My absolute favorite part is the eyes. Although it is a hard part and very easy to ruin it, you can see me working with this specific type of brush. I think it's also synthetic and I believe it's called liner brush, and what's important is that it has longer hair. And this means that your brush won't run out of water very quickly, so you can keep working. I really like this kind of brush and I think it cost me like €3, so it should be really affordable. Once I finish all the important details of the face and I know how dark they are, I can go back to shading skin and finish it. Now the face is finished and my absolute favorite part is coming up, and that is the background. I pre-wet the whole area except the face so that my water does not ruin the details that I've previously painted, and then slowly run the paint down my paper. This part of the painting process is an amazing experience for me. It mostly works on a cotton paper that dries slowly. While your layer is still wet, you can add new pigment as you please, and you can even remove the existing pigment that is already on the paper with wet brush. So you can basically change the whole layer several times, and it will only become permanent after you let it dry or dry it with a blow dryer, which is what I do. So this is basically how you control the water on a cotton paper. You work with it while it's wet, and once you're satisfied, you see the result is nice, then you dry it. Same approach applies to each petal of this magnolia flower, and the only difference is that the pre-wet area is not the whole paper or the big part of the painting, but each petal area. So also you just pre-wet the petal, you lay down pigments and once you're satisfied, you dry the area, and you can continue working in multiple layers and until you achieve the desirable effect. I did not really spend a lot of time on this flower. I didn't want it perfectly detailed because the focus of this painting was the face, so I did not want it to steal too much attention. Hair is not my favorite part to paint, but for this portrait I decided to have them rather blurry and more abstract, so I only did a couple of layers of watercolor textures around the face. I imagined something red and intense around her neck. I started with a couple of washes of red paint that I wanted to decorate with watercolor effects. Since that didn't work out as I planned, I improvised from now on. A couple of finishing touches required the use of white gouache and a bit more dark, really almost blackish watercolor paint to finish her lashes and reflection in her eyes. In the end, final details were painted by gouache and very thick black watercolor paint. I decided to go for a jewel and a dark lace. It's not really perfect, but I still like this painting a lot and I wanted to remake it into a larger piece, but I still need to think about the concept because I find it a bit boring if it's just a portrait. So I will definitely think about it and will try to turn her into something more surreal and fairy tale-like. Here is the final painting. I really hope you like it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more art videos. This painting process is also available as a 1 hour long painting tutorial on my Patreon page for every patron that pledges at least $5. If you decide to support me, even $1 is a lot and makes a big difference, and you will get access to many painting rewards and tutorials from me. So please check out my Patreon page and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!